Hi, I'm Marcus Strand. I'm the world's third best Theorbo player. And today we're going to be talking about this monstrosity. Anyway, let's move right along as we ask the question. So the Theorbo is a long bass lute, which is phallic in structure and very smooth to the touch. The word Theorbo comes from the Italian Theorba, which means, well, no one really knows. It might be from the Slavic word torba, which means bag, you know, but then again, it might not be. It's not to be confused with the liuto attiorbato, which means Theorbo lute. It's also sometimes referred to as a chitarrone, but let's not get into that, that's a whole, thing. Okay, so let's focus on the lute part. It is, after all, a bass lute. So lute comes from the French word lute, which means lute. That itself comes from the old French word lute, which means lute. That comes probably from the old Provençal word lute, which means lute. Which itself comes from the Arabic word al-oud, which means wood. Gotcha. From this name, al-oud, we also get the name for the instrument oud, a lute-type instrument common in Mediterranean and Middle Eastern music. Oud isn't the only name for that instrument though. In Syriac they call it square, square, square. And in Persian they call it barbat error, colon, bracket, bracket, lang, dash, xx, bracket, bracket, colon, text has italic markup, parentheses, help. So, that's a bit of history. Let's get right into the uses for the liuto attiorbato. Oh wait, shit, that's what you're not supposed to. The Theorbo and its many strings strike fear into the hearts of even the most seasoned guitarists. But fear not, I'm here for you. Strings 1 through 6 are tuned more or less like a normal guitar, except the third string is tuned a half note down, and the two first strings are tuned one whole octave down in what's called re-entrant tuning. And the whole instrument is tuned in a fourth above the normal E for a guitar, and of course that it's usual to tune it in 415 Hz, which is precisely a half note below standard concert pitch of 440. But in essence, if you were to tune the third string a half note up, all your normal guitar chords would work. As shown here in the contemporary madrigal Wonderwall by Oasis. But Marcus, I hear you cry, we all know Wonderwall tells about the other strings. Do you really know Wonderwall? Do any of us truly know? The seventh string is an extra stopped string, which means it's a string that you can play with your left hand. Look at it go! Strings 8 through 14 are bourdons, which means they are tuned to a fixed note and are played only as open strings with your right hand. And the strings are, in my case, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, and G. Maybe you noticed that the B string was a bit off. Or actually kind of westerny. So why don't I just tune it? With a Theorbo, there's no just do it. Ever. To tune the B string, or any of the bourdons, you have to go way up there, which is why most Theorbo players tune their Theorbo only once a year, according to a rotational schedule. Of course, you could also do this. Oh, come here, buddy, I'm sorry. So how do you play a Theorbo? The lute family's hornbostel sax classification is 321.321-5, or composite chordophone sounded by the bare fingers, in contrast to the modern guitar, which is sounded using the bare face. First, the pinky is placed on the soundboard, partly as a reference for the bass strings, and to let the other ensemble members know you're several degrees fancier than they are. The ring finger is generally not used in play, as it is where your allegiance ring is traditionally worn. This leaves us with these three fingers in what is commonly known as the Ninja Turtle playing style. Solo music for the Theorbo is most commonly written in tablature or tab, showing you the strings and the frets where to play and not just the mere notes. That's right, good old-fashioned tab. Well, sort of. The French tab is written with letters instead of numbers. The Italian tab is written with numbers, but upside down. And the Germans, they wrote, random groups of symbols, because warum nicht? So you just put the fingers where it says to put them, and... So the next time you're playing a horrible tabbed version of House of the Rising Sun you found on the internet, and all your family and friends go, ooh, playing tab, or ooh, N-O-O-B, you can tell them that us composite chordophone players have been avoiding sheet music for centuries. So that's solo, but most likely you will play basso continuo, which is Italian for rhythm guitar. Your job is to keep the tune rocking. You get a bass line, maybe some numbers, and then it's go time. Here you can see what I played there. Essentially you play the bass line as is, and then you add the notes as shown. If it says 3 and 5, you add a third and a fifth above the bass note. If it says a 4 and a 6, you add a fourth and a 6 above the bass note, and so on. Easy, right? Yes, except when it isn't. Sometimes they didn't write out all the info. Here it says to add a third, but is it a major third or a minor third? Well, the answer is, it depends. Usually you are required to know that in this style, in this type of music, and in this specific moment in time and space, you play exactly this type of chord. But for them, it was easy. I mean, we now know that if we see one of these messages, we instantly click yes. It's part of our culture to know this, but in the future they may forget and therefore miss out on great opportunities. So essentially you're given a crude color by numbers that you use to improvise chords and melodies. And in that regard it's actually very similar to the modern art of yodeling. Alright, that's the Theorbo. I'm going to end this video with the question I'm asked most of all by far. Can I use the Theorbo to hit on girls or guys? Oh, you betcha. Hey there, dollface. No.